Welcome back to Coin Collector's World, the ultimate destination for rare coins, hidden treasures, and the fascinating stories behind them. If you've ever wondered whether the coins sitting quietly in your pocket or drawer could be worth far more than their face value, then you are in for a treat. Today, we're going to explore one of the most remarkable and sought-after coins in American numismatics, the 1969 Washington quarter with no mint mark. This isn't just any coin. It's a piece of history, a collector's dream, and in rare cases, a fortune waiting to be discovered. At first glance, a 1969 Washington quarter looks familiar: George Washington's proud profile on the front, the bold eagle on the back, a gleaming silver finish. It's the kind of coin you might use for a vending machine or toss into a jar of spare change. But appearances can be deceiving. Beneath that ordinary exterior lies a story of rarity, mystery, and value that has captivated coin collectors for decades. To truly understand why this coin is so extraordinary, we need to step back to 1969. The United States Mint was operating at full speed, producing millions of coins across its various facilities. Quarters were being minted in Denver and San Francisco, both of which proudly display their respective D and S mint marks. Philadelphia coins, however, were minted without any mark, a subtle distinction that would later prove to be critically important. Among these Philadelphia strikes, a very limited number were produced under conditions that created what collectors now call high-grade rare strikes. These were coins that carried exceptional detail, sharp lines, crisp edges, and a brilliance that far surpassed normal circulating quarters. So why does this matter? Because these coins are incredibly rare. While millions of 1969 quarters were minted, only a fraction were struck in this special way. And even fewer have survived in mint or near mint condition. Over the past 5 decades, many have been lost, worn down, or melted for silver content. The coins that remain today are not just money, they are treasures, preserved by chance, careful hands, and sometimes, sheer luck. Collectors describe the thrill of discovering such a coin as electrifying. Imagine sifting through an old coin jar or an estate sale find, thinking it's just everyday change, and suddenly spotting a gleam that's different, unusual, almost magical. You pick it up, examine it under the light, and see George Washington's hairlines perfectly detailed, the eagle's feathers distinct and crisp, the edges sharp and flawless. That is the moment when an ordinary coin transforms into a rare, potentially life-changing treasure. The world of coin collecting is as competitive as it is fascinating. Auctions for rare coins often turn into high-stakes battles, with seasoned collectors, investors, and enthusiasts raising their bids higher and higher for the chance to own something nearly impossible to find. People spend years hunting for these treasures, searching coin rolls, visiting thrift stores, examining coins passed down through generations, all in pursuit of that one coin that can define a collection or even change their fortune. Of course, rarity alone does not determine value. Condition, or grade, is everything. Coins that have survived decades with minimal wear, scratches, or damage command the highest prices. Even a small imperfection can significantly reduce value. That's why collectors invest in professional grading and authentication. A 1969 Washington quarter with no mint mark, in top condition, is not just rare, it's a perfect example of historical craftsmanship, preserved to near perfection over more than 50 years. It's fascinating to think about the journey of a coin like this. Minted in Philadelphia in 1969, it might have first exchanged hands in a local store, passed from pocket to pocket, perhaps even forgotten in a drawer. Some coins might have ended up in piggy banks, wallets, or jars of spare change. And yet, despite decades of circulation, some survived in extraordinary condition, quietly waiting for a collector to recognize their true worth. That journey, from a minting press to a modern collector's hand, is part of what makes coins like this so captivating. Collectors and experts also note that the 1969 no mint mark quarter represents a turning point in coin collecting. It's a reminder that even modern coins, which appear common and ordinary, can hold immense value if produced under unique conditions. This coin is not just a piece of currency, it's a piece of history, a tangible link to a pivotal year in America's story, a chance to own something rare and irreplaceable. And now, the moment every collector waits for: what is the value of this remarkable coin? After thorough evaluation by professional numismatists and based on recent auction records, a 1969 Washington quarter with no mint mark, in the highest known grade, carries an incredible value of $100,000. Today, we have something truly special for you, a coin that has fascinated collectors for decades, the 1967 Washington quarter dollar, the one without a mint mark. Yes, you heard that right, no mint mark, a detail that might seem small but holds a story and value that's absolutely staggering. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932, commemorating the first president of the United States, George Washington. While most quarters you see every day carry the mint mark of Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, the 1967 quarter with no mint mark is something entirely different. It represents a fascinating era in American coin history, a time when the United States was transitioning from silver to a clad composition in everyday coinage. Now, you might be asking yourself, what makes a 1967 Washington quarter without a mint mark so special? Well, first let's understand the context. In 1965, the U.S. stopped using 90% silver in its quarters due to the rising cost of silver. This change meant that new quarters, including the 1967 issue, were made from a copper-nickel clad composition. But the absence of a mint mark in 1967, while seemingly ordinary, makes certain coins extremely rare when paired with unique conditions and minting errors. Collectors around the world search for this coin because it represents a time of change, a moment in history captured in silver-free metal. Its significance is not just in its composition, but in its story. Coins without mint marks can sometimes indicate limited production runs, experimental strikes, or coins that were simply overlooked during minting inspections. Every scratch, every detail, every minor anomaly adds to its allure. When we talk about value, most people might think a quarter is just 25 cents, something you drop in a vending machine without a second thought. But in the world of coin collecting, context is everything. The 1967 no mint mark Washington quarter has been known to appear in auctions and private collections, and the right specimen can command attention from collectors globally. Condition is paramount. Coins that have been carefully preserved, showing minimal wear and retaining crisp details on Washington's profile, are the ones that attract serious buyers. The rarity of this coin also comes from how few survive in excellent condition. Many quarters from the 1960s were circulated heavily, lost, or even melted down. So when a coin emerges in pristine condition, with its no mint mark characteristic intact, collectors take notice. It's a combination of history, scarcity, and visual appeal that makes this coin so desirable. Now, for those who love numbers and specifics, grading plays a huge role in determining value. Coins are graded based on their preservation, luster, and strike quality. A coin in near mint state, with perfect edges, sharp lettering, and minimal surface marks, will be much more valuable than one that has spent decades in pockets or cash registers. The no mint mark Washington quarter of 1967 has been known to fetch extremely high prices in top condition, especially when authenticated by reputable grading services. Imagine holding a piece of history, a coin that was minted over 50 years ago, in your hand. Feeling the weight of the copper-nickel alloy, observing the intricate details of George Washington's profile, and knowing that very few of these coins have survived without damage. That's the thrill of collecting. Every coin tells a story, and this one tells a story of rarity, change, and incredible value. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the jaw-dropping price that this coin can command. For the right 1967 Washington quarter dollar with no mint mark, in top-notch condition, collectors have been willing to pay an astounding $120,000, yes, $120,000 for a coin that most people might overlook in their change jar. It's a testament to the allure of rarity, the passion of collectors, and the history embedded in every piece of coinage. So, the next time you stumble upon an old quarter, take a closer look. You might just be holding a treasure that could change everything. The 1967 Washington quarter dollar with no mint mark isn't just a coin, it's a piece of history, a collectible masterpiece, and for one lucky collector, it could be worth $120,000. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins and their value, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We'll keep bringing you the most fascinating stories from the world of coins, where every piece has a tale to tell and a value that might surprise you. Until next time, happy collecting, and remember, sometimes the smallest details hide the greatest treasures.